What is going on, guys? This is Dano, aka CobraConcept, and you have stumbled upon the Loggers and Loot podcast. Glad to have you all here. This is a fun podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and today we are talking about the One Piece live action on Netflix. So, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let me start with our favorite, where we take a brew and we discuss what this is. We do an initial taste, and then at the end of the podcast, I'll tell you all about this brew and whether or not you should try it. So today, we are trying a Rheingeist, which we are no stranger to Rheingeist. It is a favorite of ours. Well, let's say ours, a favorite of mine for sure. This is a Cincinnati-made India Pale Ale. It's called the Pretty Bird, and it's got dazzling plumage composed of Mosaic, Amarillo, and Eclipse hops. Pretty Bird flutters with notes of mandarin orange, blueberry, and peach. This lighthearted pale ale is a rare treat for a life list. That's birder slang for really good. Birder. I've never heard of that before. That's kind of crazy. It is a 5.5%. And what a beautiful can. If you guys are tuning in on YouTube or on the video, come on now, or on the video on Spotify, I am showing this can off for you all. Really nice. Big fan of Rheingeist, especially their Cloud Harvester. So I have high hopes, and I hope that it's not too much flavor all in one go. So without further ado, get that initial crack it. Well, shoot. We overfilled a little bit there. It totally came off the top. Well, that was not how I expected this podcast to start. Literally an explosion. And I held most of it out of camera, so you didn't even get to watch it explode on me, so. Well, all right. Kind of out of sorts here. Let's smell it now that we've kind of initially tasted it. The smell is very fruity. Definitely gives you a lot of you get a lot of peach from this. A lot of peach on the smell. All right. All right. From the initial taste, I think I'm pretty excited to talk about what I think about this brew, but hold out until the end of the podcast. I do not want to tell you my final rating until I've had a good long sit with this beer. I want it to be official. You know what I'm saying? So, without further ado, with a little mishap here at the beginning of the podcast, let's get into the One Piece live action. If you were like me, you turned into Netflix's TUDUM on May 31st to try to catch the latest news of the One Piece live action. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of discuss some of the key stats, some of season one's phenomenal, and the recap of that. We're going to talk about some of the cast. We're going to talk about the impact that it had on the franchise, and then we're going to get into season two. So if you are listening for season two, expect to hear a lot of season one at the very beginning, just to get some people up to date. And then after we get into the season two, we'll kind of talk about the casting and the big news that we got at TUDUM, and go from there. And we'll kind of discuss some of the highlights, some of the forecasts, so to say, what we think is going to happen, and hit it out with some fun facts. So, starting us out strong. If you are not a One Piece live action enjoyer, this is your chance. Hop in, check it out. I promise you, it is totally worth watching. It is a very high production series off of Netflix. About $17 million per an episode. 140 million plus hours viewed in just 28 days. So I assume that is worldwide. 140 million hours of viewing content worldwide in just 28 days alone when it came out. At the time, it was the number one show in 84 countries, the number one English language live action debut on Netflix in 2023. Rotten Tomatoes itself gave 85% likable from the critics, and then 96 from the audience. So Rotten Tomatoes gave it a pretty good score, and then the audience came in swinging with an even higher score than that. And not to mention, it held top 10 for 7+ weeks. And I want to say it held number one for a good little portion. So definitely worth checking out if you have not. It's been a couple of years since it debuted, and you may have missed the hype. You may not have been interested, but I'm here to tell you now, it's still worth watching. We have gone back. We've watched it about 3 or 4 different times now, and it still holds a special place in our heart. Um, it has some really cool cast, such as, and forgive me if I get some of these names wrong or pronounce them poorly, because I'm just some dude over here in Kentucky who does not pronounce names very well. Anati Godoy playing Monkey D. Luffy was a joy. Um, it was a really cool and fun fact to hear that Oda himself, the creator of One Piece, enjoyed him so much, and even went as far as to say, "Oh, you are Luffy." They talked about his interview and how Oda watched his interview and was like, "Man, that's him. That's Luffy. That's our guy." And as somebody who enjoyed the show, I think so. I think he is hands down the Luffy that we all knew and needed and wanted. He is hilarious. I mean, he's got it down pat. I definitely enjoy watching him. Um, um so our next actor, McKinyu, Mackin I'm so sorry. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, but he is our Roronoa Zoro, and loved him. He was phenomenal in this show. Definitely enjoyed him, and I believe it was Pacific Rim. But he brought this whole like like I don't know, not a care in the world Zorro vibe to the show. You know what I'm saying? He definitely had the Zorro down pat. Was incredibly fun to watch him and all of the action scenes after him getting so involved in and learning sword techniques and how to fight and using real steel swords. It was definitely a joy to watch him. Then we have Emily Rudd as our Nami, and oh my gosh, she was fun. She was a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of humor in her character. More so than the anime and the manga. I feel like, but it was a welcome change. I definitely enjoyed Emily Rudd's um, constant banter with the crew, so to say. Jacob Romero is our Usopp, and I mean, he was a blast to watch. We loved Jacob Romero. Definitely Usopp in my book. Definitely. And then I'm gonna come clean on this. Taz Skyler was our Sanji, and when he first was cast, I thought, I'm not sold. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's not gonna work for me, but I'm here to tell you, the absolute perfect choice. Taz Skyler was phenomenal to watch. His fight scenes were great. He learned all of these awesome choreography scenes and learned how to do all of these moves. And oh, it was an absolute pleasure to watch him perform. He was a beast. And if you ask my wife, I feared for my marriage. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But she loved Taz Skyler. She was a big fan. So we do have honorable mentions. The Jeff Ward as our buddy. Vincent Regan as our Garp, Morgan Davies as Kobe, McKinley Belcher III as Arlon, and Peter Gadot as Shanks. They were awesome. We had a lot of great cast members, and I'm here to say that there wasn't anybody in the cast that I felt didn't belong. Definitely a lot of really great scenes and a lot of great um, world building. I mean, the sets were phenomenal. Just huge, absolutely well thought of ships and taverns and castles and you name it. Like they just above and beyond phenomenal. So after that season one, it had an impact on the franchise, obviously, and what we're seeing is about a 35% anime viewership, 35% global increase on the viewership of the anime. Just just that live action alone drove audiences to go and watch the anime. And now I don't know how many of them actually finished the show, but I'm willing to say quite a few. Quite a few. The manga sales went up 40% in the US, and it was the top 5 manga in fall 2023, thanks to the show. I mean, it was already a top selling manga, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it increased, it was better. So, there was a massive wave of first time viewers joining the fandom, and I'm here to tell you it was fun. It was a lot of fun to see so many people enjoying One Piece in a different media than what we were accustomed to. I mean, I started with the anime, so I mean, you think about all the people that started with the manga, and they're reading the manga, and they're enjoying this, and they love it, and then you know all these people, all these fans are coming in from the anime, and you're learning to cope with that. Now you've got the people with the live action, and soon we're gonna have people come into the anime via the reboot, the update on the on the anime drop in what, let's see, it's not next year. I forgive me, I'm not sure on the timeline of that, but regardless, a lot of first time fans enjoying One Piece, and you gotta love it. It's a great thing. Cheers! I'm gonna take a quick drink of this Rheingeist real quick. Rheingeist, pretty bird. So, anyways, moving on from season one. If you have not already seen it, please be sure to do so. I promise. And this is the official word of CobraConcept. One Piece live action season 1 is well worth your time. Please check it out. Moving on to season 2. We got confirmation in TUDUM that Netflix TUDUM on May 31st that the filming has officially wrapped as of April 2025. So, a lot of celebration here. We are really excited to see what One Piece live action season 2 is bringing to the table. Some of those arcs that we will probably see, we're going to see all of them wrapped into this season, will be Wisty Peak, Little Garden, Drum Island, and probably at least early Alabasta setup. Now, I'm not 100% certain on if we're going to get a piece of Alabasta, a good portion of Alabasta, the whole thing of Alabasta, or anything in between that. I don't know. I don't. I'm not a. I'm not somebody who has all the leaks and the secrets and everything like that. But I'm here to tell you, I believe that we're gonna at least see the very beginning of Alabasta. At least get the ball rolling. So it'd be nice to see the Baroque works start in Wisty Peak, and then we're going to see a lot of Dory and Broggy over in Little Garden, and then Drum Island with our main man who was revealed, Tony Chopper, and then we're going to see some Crocodile and some more Vivi and a couple other people. It's going to be really fun. Um, Cape Town Film Studios is behind all of this magic. It's been the filming location since season one, and trust me, I am fully in on Cape Town Film Studios. All their full scale pirate ships, their floating sets, their ocean tanks, everything that they have been doing for season one into season two. I'm in. I'm all for it. That sounds awesome. I was very impressed by all of their large scale um, scenes. I think it's going to be great. Some of the past productions that Cape Town Film Studios has done is Black Sails, Raised by Wolves, Warrior, Bloodshot, you name it. So we're going to see some very expanded sets for season two. Um, we have already heard that we've got a very expanded set on the village of Wisty Peak. There's going to be a Little Garden Jungle, which makes me wonder, are we going to have animatronic like dinos and all kinds of crazy creatures from the One Piece world in the Little Garden world? Um, Supposedly the there is like a snow like system that they're using for Drum Island. It's going to be kind of like mostly fake snow, but it's going to look kind of realistic. And I assume they're going to come in with CGI and kind of add to it a little bit. There's going to be avalanche rigs, which is going to be really cool. And then I'm really excited to see some of the architecture of Alabasta, as well as the of the city and the desert and everything going on. I can't wait to see some of their stuff. Um, we've got some amazing cast that was announced for season two, and man, if you thought I butchered some names earlier, you're in for a treat. So our one and only Vivi is Charithra Chandran. I hope I got that right. Um, she has had a lot of work here recently and other shows, and forgive me, it's left me right now, but I've been really excited to see her portray Vivi. I can't wait to see Sidinhill Ramamurthy as Cobra. Man, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to myself pronounce these. And I am really excited to see Joe Mangelio as our crocodile. Now, of course, we've gotten some people like Wapole and Hero Luke and Brody and Dory and Dalton and Crocus and everybody. But another one that I'm very excited about is Callum Kerr playing Smoker. I think I think he already had the part. You know what I'm saying? Looking at him, I was like, man, all right, yeah, that's Smoker. Sure, I'm in, sure. And then they like recorded him talking about Smoker and some of the things that he's doing and his bike and his weapon and everything. And I thought, damn. I was like, this guy is the man. So I cannot wait to see Smoker. We've got Tashigi as Julia Rewald. Mr. 3 might be my all-time favorite casting yet, with David Dasmalchian. You may remember him from like Suicide Squad and like some other movies and shows like that, but I'm really excited about that. I think that's going to be a like almost a perfect casting. You know what I'm saying? We got some more Baroque works and a couple other people on there. Dr. Kuriha is actually Katie Seagal, which I think was a very solid choice. And the best news that we got from Netflix's TUDUM is that Tony Chopper is being voiced and facial captured by Michaela Hoover. And the reveal was very exciting. Getting pumped up for that event was a little nerve wracking for somebody like me. I was just hopeful that he would look good. After Sonic, you never know. You know what I'm saying? So we're sitting here, we're waiting, we're watching, and they revealed Chopper, and he's cute. He looks good. Yes, he's CGI'd, and yes, I mean, it's a walking, talking reindeer, but he looks good. He looks good. I'm pleasantly happy with it. Um, I like Michaela's voice. I think she does well. It was a little different coming from. I've seen the sub version, I've seen the dub version, and I've heard the two different voices, and throwing a third in there, a third voice is kind of weird, but I like it. I like the voice that Michaela Hoover brought for Tony Chopper, and I think I'm excited for season two. It's definitely got the it's got the workings to be really fun. So, um, I don't know about you all. Social media for me this week has been Tony Chopper this, Tony Chopper that, just Chopper. I see it everywhere. A lot of good casting suggestions. A lot of people saying, not a fan. You know, you get the both ends of the spectrum. I think for the most part, I think most people are pretty happy with what they saw. So it's going to be Chopper's going to be a blend of CGI, some motion capture, and practical eye direction for realism, stuff like that. I yeah, I think it's going to be okay. We saw a little clip, what, 5 6 months before like before they really start ramping up and putting things out there about One Piece. So I mean, there's just room to improve. I think they just put Chopper out there, kind of test the waters a little bit to try to figure out where they needed to be. So I'm all for it. Excuse me. Um, some of the footage that we got from TUDUM, some little tidbits. Um, we saw a few scenes of like the Going Merry in the snow. We saw Baroque Works, kind of like some of their agents kind of in costume. We saw a little teaser of the desert scenes of Alabasta. Um, there was a little nod towards Alabasta. Not necessarily any confirmation that hey, we're fighting crocodile this season, but it was we're at least getting this season started, in my opinion. They did officially. Excuse me, I got a tickle in my throat. They did officially tease and hint at season three. I think they did it like 3 times. I think they hinted, "Oh yeah, season 3." So I mean, this is coming from the main 5 actors commenting and hinting that season 3 is it's coming. Supposedly the scripts are ready. They just got to start filming. We're looking like season 2 might come as early as 2026. Like Q1, Q2. Sadly, I was hoping for a 2025. I wanted to. I mean, I want all of these shows and episodes to come out soon. I want them to be out there right here, right now. But I understand it takes time. You gotta let these people work their magic, make things happen, make sure that everything is perfect because there's no do over. You screw this up, there's no do over. Let's make it happen. Let's make sure it's perfect before we push it out there. So, why did season 1 convert so many new fans? Well, you didn't have to have a whole lot of anime knowledge. Same for the season 2. You don't have to have a whole lot of knowledge for this. If you were completely new into One Piece, this is a perfect opportunity. You can hop into the live action, check it out, and then soon watch the second season. And if you're hooked, there's mediums. You've got the manga, you've got the anime. You can wait until the remake comes. So there's opportunities to be had. We've got some really good and strong character arcs coming in this second season, and I think they did very well at making season 1's character arcs pretty quick and pretty engaging. Really, I felt like I felt like I didn't have to jump through hoops to really connect with Usopp and Nami. I felt like they were just bam, bam, bam. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like they were just involved very quickly. And I think that's going to happen a lot for season 2. I think we're going to get some opportunity to meet a few people, um, like Chopper, like Nico Robin, like Crocodile, like Kureha, and I think we're going to get some um, you know strong relationships built with them. I'm excited to see these sets and everything. I know that for me, uh, building a set, building something real, making it look so massive in our world, like the giant ships and the Baratier, for example. How awesome it was to see a kitchen, a a a, a boat that provided meals for people on the sea in real time. I mean, seeing things like that makes it so cool. I think that is such a turn on for people who are new to the show. I think they want to see the uh, the builds, the how One Piece is really putting them out there. And I think with Oda having direct input on season 1 and having direct input on season 2, and hopefully for the rest of it, makes a huge, huge impact on people wanting to take this show seriously. So I'm very, very excited. And I guess without further ado, we'll kind of hop into some of the fun facts that I have provided that you may or may not know. Since we were just talking about the Baratier, did you know that the interior kitchen was a full working set? So not only did they build the set, but they built a full working kitchen in the set to be used for the show. That's dedication. That is some serious set building. Buggy. If you're familiar with Buggy, he has the devil fruit to split his body apart, chop chop fruit. His spinning body towards let's see, when he was in the tent, that spinning body technique was actually done with like wireframing and like practical effects, which was pretty wild that they managed to pull that off like that. This one kind of took me for a loop. I didn't know this. Alabasta's scenes coming up in season 2 are apparently using imported sand from Namibia. I'm not really sure where Namibia is. Shout out Google for hitting me up with that knowledge. This was cool. Crocodile's hook prop was actually 3D printed in bronze plating. And if you know me, I've got a 3D printer back here. I like to print things off. I like to get some things and print random things and give them out to friends and whatnot. So I got really excited to hear about his hook being 3D printed. And I kind of want to print my own crocodile hook now. I'm not gonna lie. I might look into that after this, actually. Okay, so earlier when I was talking about like the snow, apparently the snow in Drum Island for the second season is real foam snow, and then they are VFX blending into that. So I guess they're using foam snow and then making it look more legit through that. This one was fun. Brody and Dory's required 14-foot costume rigs, and they had to use green screen body doubles in those scenes. So not only did they have like these massive costumes, but like then they had to use everything in front of these green screens to put in body doubles that make everybody look so small. And if you're not familiar, Dory and Brody are giants. So it it's it's gonna be really cool to see how they pull that off. Um so we talked about how Zoro, Matinyu, and Taz, Skylar, Sanji had a lot of training and were able to really learn how to use their abilities that the character would use. Well, apparently for season 2, each one of the Straw Hats got personalized stunt training. So I thought that was really cool. Not just for like all these action scenes for uh, your two main fighters, but also like I'm sorry, but like Emily Rudd and oh shoot, Jacob Romero and Eke Godoy all got like all opportunities to do all of these really cool um, scenes, and it just I don't know, it's just kind of cool. I'm assuming they probably won't really. I guess they'll try to get her reactions. They'll get Michaela's reactions for Chopper. I'm not sure how they'll do that, but that'll be interesting to see. Clive Russell, who is playing as Crocus, actually studied well anatomy to mimic gestures in this role, which I thought was kind of wild. That was pretty cool. Going above and beyond to really learn your character, you know. Mr. Three's wax wax prison is built as a practical effect, which just makes sense. And then Miss Valentine's crash landings used a springboard harness. So it's kind of cool how to figure out how they were actually doing stuff like that. I'm very I'm gonna try to keep that in mind as I watch the second season, so that way I can try to see it in real time and wonder how it was done. For season 2 with Michaela Hoover's voice acting and how she's portraying Chopper. Apparently, they blended it with like a childlike reverb to try to mimic this Chopper sound. So it's not just her own voice; it's got a reverb in it that's trying to make it more Chopper-esque. They did add a new composer on board to add Arabic-inspired music for the Alabasta scenes. That's very exciting. I love the idea of them adding to the music ensemble to add more um, qualified people for that. I I'm here. I'm gonna say it right here now, and I mean this. Music makes movies and shows. And if you don't believe me, look at look at the um, look at the orchestra for the Lord of the Rings, or the orchestra for the Marvel Avengers, or the orchestra for Star Wars, or you know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, the music can flat make or break a show or a movie or anything. If your music is not, if it's not top quality like some of these others have been, it can really make or break. Season 2, speaking of which, Season two's OST will release on Spotify with live orchestra sessions. So, you best believe I'm tuning into that. So, what do y'all think? Are you excited for One Piece season 2, live action season 2? I know I am. I think I'm really excited to see how Michaela Hoover portrays Chopper. But I'm also really excited to see some more Taz Skylar. I'm gonna be a Taz Skylar fanboy right now. I think he is going to be awesome. I'm really excited for Smoker. Really, really excited for Crocodile. And I think it's gonna be fun. Regardless, we're gonna have a great time. And I guess without further ado, let me tell you about my brew. So, Rheingeist, the Cincy made Pretty Bird Pale Ale, which has hints of mandarin orange, blueberry, and peach. Is tasty. Oh, it is. It is sweet. It's got a very light and minimal hops. It it would really pair well. It would really pair well with some type of savory dinner. And I'm here to tell you, I could get lost in a 6-pack of these. This is pretty. This is pretty good. I'm gonna have to rank this one at a. And before I say this, if you're not familiar with my rankings, 0 through 5, not so crazy. Well, 0 through 3, don't try it. 4, 5, and 6, yeah, it's pretty good. I'd try it. I'd drink it. 7 and 8, definitely recommend it. 9, you gotta get it. And 10, I tell you, hands down, this is one of the best things I've ever had. I'm gonna put this one right at like an 8.3. Very solid, very easy to drink. Very sweet, so to say. Again, easily could get through a 6-pack of these, and wouldn't mind doing it actually. So, Straw Hats, thank you all for joining me on this podcast episode, and everybody else who is tuning in. If you are not familiar with my content, my name is I'm Dano. You can call me CobraConcept. Sometimes I ramble and get lost in podcast conversations like this, but I live stream on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok. Come hang out with us. Discord, everything is in the bio. And thank you again for tuning in. Later.